Welcome to Your Fitness Chick podcast. Become your best self. I'm a fitness coach spreading positivity to navigate you to fitness, growth, and transformation. Hey, I'm your host, Abby Smiley Krause. I am a fitness enthusiast, a huge dog lover, especially to my babies Gigi and Layla, and I am so passionate about this amazing thing that we call life. In this podcast, I'll be covering topics to improve your fitness, mindset, and well-being. Topics such as longevity, meal prepping, overcoming mindset obstacles, nutrition, and of course, everyone's favorite, weight loss. I'm here to help inspire, uplift, educate, and motivate you to become your best self. Join me here every Tuesday for a fresh episode. Welcome to the Your Fitness Chick podcast. Become your best self. I'm Abby, your fitness chick, and I'm super excited to have a wonderful guest today to inspire and motivate you to continue on your journey to becoming your best self. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mrs. Renee Fry. Welcome, Renee.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I love this.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm all energized after a workout.
Good workout. I'm a little drained after mine. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I need to start bringing snacks. My workouts have become longer, and I'm like, well, I need some rejuvenation here.
Oh, yeah. Might have to get, I'll give you a little thing I discovered afterwards that I found. Or they're called energy bits. And and it's algae in that. And I tell you, it gives you an extra, and there's even protein in it, but it gives you a great boost before your workout. It's amazing.
Ooh,
all natural.
Energy bits?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I'm glad you're energized. I'll steal some of it as we do the show today. So I met you via Instagram. I came across some of your really positive and uplifting posts, and I just love how algorithms direct you to people that kind of are in your tribe and speak your language. And I just kept seeing you pop up and really liked a lot of your content and thought, hey, this girl would be great to have on my podcast. And here we are.
Yes.
So tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, your background and your bio.
My background, let's see. I am a person that was afraid to even talk to people and all this kind of stuff. I'm also was very unhealthy. I lived on sugar. My addiction was the Swedish fish, and I had a Sam's membership club card just for that. I thought when it said fat free, I would go by that term, back in the day, everything fat free, you would just, let alone did I know by eating all that fat free candy was really actually harming my body and my hormones. And then I ended up stumbling across, it was like, I think it's 9 years now, an article that I read that they did that sugar is more addicting than cocaine. And there was a light bulb.
8 times more.
And a light bulb went off in my head and was like, I don't want to be like this. Like, this is ridiculous. And I had no energy. I was a nanny for 17 years. That I actually don't have in a lot that I don't talk about. But I had no energy to make it through the 10-hour days with kids. I believe it. I mean, I was young and I couldn't have no energy. I could run now, but it just drained everything. And then when I just kind of didn't fully cold turkey it, but I just stopped the processed sugar. And then I went to add in fruit and stuff to kind of replace the cookies at night and doing that stuff. And I noticed a huge difference. And then when I tried it on a vacation in Hawaii, I tried their special donut. I don't remember the name. And all of a sudden I woke up the next day and everything was hurting and aching because I had that sugar. And I knew it. And so that really started my health journey. And then I went into working out. I went from yoga to let's put it this way, the girl would never sweat. I didn't want to sweat in yoga. There was something about I didn't want to sweat. Then I learned how to work out, and then now I can't not, like, I have to have a full sweat on to feel good. Um, and I just get energized. Uh, and then my dog got sick 2 years ago, and that
Oh.
kind of devastated me. Even though it was just a dog. Yeah.
That's not just a dog. My dogs are my babies.
Oh, I
Like
know it's
mine's
not just a dog, but there was something that I had. I always had stuff that always I couldn't deal with, like, back in the day, and I would just, it would be in my mind, and I would break down and that. But this there was something different this time. She ended up getting very ill and ended up having autoimmune disease and brain lesions in her
oh,
brain. And unfortunately, she made it only 18 months. This past November, we had to let her cross over.
oh, I'm
So
so sorry.
thank you. I mean, she fought and we brought her back. I mean, April 30th will be a reminder every year that I woke up to finding her paralyzed.
Oh
And then she
gosh.
came back and she was almost in full remission, but then she ended up contacting MRSA 3 times, and it just,
Wow.
she just, we knew it, and it's fine, and she has a littermate sister, but she's doing fine. But that brought me to a point where I fell apart, and I mean I fell apart bad, that I couldn't cope with every day. I was just surviving, and I didn't understand why. I was also in an MLM company, doTERRA, and back in the day my leader suggested I do these Clifton Strength Report, and I got into the Clifton Strength Report. Well, there's this guy called Eddie Vila, and he had a event going on during doTERRA's convention, and I signed up for it right before this all happened with my sweet Melly. So I was dedicated; everything was paid for. I was flying into Salt Lake, and I was doing this, right. So I get there, and I'm at this report, and I'm like, this isn't me. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, everyone's like getting it, and everyone's sitting there, and I'm just sitting there like, one, I was just so lost and broken. I didn't know what was going on in my world. Then there was something he said during the event, and I retook the assessment. And when I retook the assessment, it was the most, uh, another light bulb epiphany. Like, and I also knew that was when I needed to do his certification program and sign up. My report changed, not drastically, but did change a bit. And then learning that my discipline, my anchor, is why I wasn't surviving. Discipline, we are very structured and routine, and I have to have my routine every single day. And when she got
Me
sick,
too.
I had, that routine was completely gone. I had to change my clients' appointments all the time. I was running to 3 vets. I was constantly coming home. It was just so hard, that my routine, and I didn't know how to cope with it. And then when I learned all this and I went through his certification program and got certified, it was.
Now, I hate to interrupt you, but just so that we're all following along, when you're getting certified, what are you getting certified actually
I'm
in?
getting certified as his Eddie Vila certified coach, is in the deep understanding of the Clifton Strengths Assessment.
Okay.
So I'm an Eddie Vila coach. So I'm a personal support coach because I can actually coach on everything. And
Okay.
I utilize the Clifton Strength Report. I cannot say I am a strength coach because I'm not certified through Gallup, but
Okay.
he is, and he's made his own program, and it is all okay. Like, it's all passed. He has a books and everything, and
Okay.
in his deeper meanings, it's blown the roof from what Gallup has. But it made me find out who I was, because I was always trying to find who I was. Some people are resonating with my story when I say that I put on different faces for everybody that I was around. I never felt
Yeah.
like I could fit in with anybody. It goes back from childhood. It goes back to,
Mm.
I was in special ed class. And the reason why I was in special ed, and people might, say something about my mom on this, or my parents, but I didn't talk. And the doctor kept saying she's just stubborn. Well, I wasn't stubborn, guys. At 4 years old, she went to a new doctor and found out I was tongue tied.
Really?
So at 4 years old, I had surgery.
Wow.
And then, as my sister would say, I never shut up after that.
She's been talking ever since.
Well, in a
Okay.
way, not really, because then all of a sudden they would just be like, shut up, be quiet, you're talking too much. And then that would get in my head. And then I
Oh,
had,
okay.
yeah, and it's amazing what things say to you, get stuck. And then being made fun of being in special ed, because then I also had trouble understanding things and being made fun of having to go to a special class every single day. I had teachers read me my tests. I mean, I barely graduated.
Now, what grades were you in that you were in a special
Till I
classes?
graduated. I had to be until
Oh, all through high school and
yep.
everything.
Speech
Wow.
classes,
Okay.
speech classes ended at sixth grade in elementary. Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
And there's still certain words I can't say.
Well, isn't that ironic?
Hmm.
I mean, and now here you are inspiring other people to develop into bettering themselves. So you became a personal
Hmm.
coach. Is it your background of what you just shared with us about, your internal struggles and knowing what it feels like to kind of having to wear a lot of different faces and still not trying to figure out who you are as a person? Is that what inspired you to become a personal coach?
Yes, when I signed up for his certification, I'll be honest, I didn't sign up to be I didn't sign up to want to coach. I signed up because I needed to find what was going on with me, and I needed to find who I was down deep. And I knew that he was going to be the one to do it. Because there was something. I mean, when you take this assessment, it's not a personality test. This is something special where you are the only one in the whole world will have this unique combination in 34, all 34 in a different order. Um,
Oh,
but halfway through and doing all, and I'm telling you, his certification course, it's not learning the strengths right away. It's not. You do the most internal hard work that I've ever done in my life. And he makes you work. He makes you find out who you are. And it was the most challenging thing. And that's what brought up like all these faces. I had no confidence. Because of this and just barely graduating, I always felt dumb. I mean, I didn't understand things. I had the hardest time talking to anybody that had a college education because I was like, why would they talk to me?
you felt
Mm-hmm.
intimidated by it.
It was, and I would put myself in my own smaller bubble and only associate with, very little people. And that's why I think I nannied so long is because then I just was with kids.
Right.
I mean, it's just, it makes sense. And then it was just going through. And so we'll go. So, and part of the program, when I say working on ourselves, he has a thing, it's called leashes. And the leashes is
Yes,
like,
'cause I wanted to ask you about that
mhm,
because you had mentioned that on your website. So tell us about the
the
leashes.
leashes. So the leashes are stuff that you tell yourselves that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that because they say this, they can't. So you're telling yourself, I can't all the time.
Mm,
And so what it does is it triggers your brain every time, right? So
right.
you can't do this, you can't do that. And then he has this thing where it's the leashes, you write out your leashes in a certain way, and then you turn it around and it changes the reticular activator in your brain. So
Mm,
one part was what is the quickest one for me to give an example was at the time of this last year with our dog still being sick at the time. And my husband knew this. I mean, it also was a lot of money too to keep her where we're going. Thank goodness for pet insurance. Anybody has a dog or any cat, pet insurance, I highly recommend.
yeah.
But I kept telling, we can't go on vacation. We can't go on vacation because she's sick. We can't do this because I can't go away. I can't do. And that's a leash. It wasn't meaning like we didn't have the money. It didn't mean that I didn't have the resources. It didn't, I just kept stopping myself. So I wrote the leash out and I wrote the leash out and I did the turnaround. And in 24 hours, my brain changed and I started researching how we can go on vacation that would only be maybe 5 hours away. That way, if something happens, I can drive home. And end of the week, I booked our vacation. And
Okay.
it's just something that changes the process of how you do the turnaround in the certain way. And that's what I teach ones that I coach. I teach that format and how you do it. It's a certain way.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting because I think everybody has some sort of chain or
Mm-hmm.
cord because we're trained to do negative thinking, stinking thinking. I've talked about this in several other episodes and on my Facebook lives and stuff like that. And so we really do become what we think about. It does reprogram your mind. And actually, also, if we want to go really deep, we can start talking about the law of
Oh,
attraction.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's really interesting. So the leashes in your definition are the things that are holding you
Yes.
back, literally
Yes.
leashes, reins,
Yep.
if you
There,
will.
it's a lot of things holding you back. And then, like you said, I mean, the laws of attraction too, and also going through with knowing your strengths report, because this is who you are. Now, we're not going to say anything bad about positive affirmations, but it's a little different when you get to do, he's discovered how you do it's called a proclamation statement with a DNA. And it's because it's who you are. So when you make it, it's then again the reticular activator brain switching over because then that is you. So we would say the proclamation and write and read your DNA every day, and it starts to resonate more and more. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is me. This is who I am. And then you get to let go of what the bottom ones are. And so, and you can still do the positive affirmations, but there's sometimes where you could still do sometimes if you don't know who you really are, it's hard to do the positive affirmations when you want to say, let's say all our workout people, right? Let's stand in a mirror and we're going to like, I have six pack abs. I have six pack abs. And yes, it gets you motivated, right? But there's still
Hmm.
something in your brain going when you're looking in that mirror. It's not there. I don't know if you understand. Do you understand where I'm going?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with the strength report in the DNA, the way it's set up, when you do read it, it actually is you. So you can believe it
Okay.
and do the
I
work.
got you. So it's kind of peeling it down deep,
Yeah. Yes.
right? Into more factual than
Yes.
hopeful.
And like I said, I still love positive affirmations. I mean, I still do them,
Sure.
but there's just a twist to it now.
Okay. I like that. That's awesome. So you've been doing the personal coaching then. If you started it like around the time that your doggy passed away, that was what 18 months ago.
No, no, she survived for 18. So 2 years ago in April, she got diagnosed. She just passed in November. I
Oh,
graduated from certification in May, but I actually started coaching with his certification. You actually have to be coaching before you graduate. So I actually started last April. So it's been just about a
okay.
year.
So you've been doing it for about a year. So how has that changed your life?
It's fulfilled me. Because I know my strengths and I have developers one and developer, we love to just encourage people and be the cheerleader. And I just want to help everybody. I just want to help people out there know that they are unique and that they can do anything that they want to do and to not be, as I call myself, suffering in silence, because I spent my whole adulthood suffering because I was afraid to speak. I was afraid to be who I was. And I want to
Yeah.
help women understand that you can be whoever you are with your strengths and when you see them, and then to let go of the ones that aren't making you who you are. It's like the best thing when you learn how to let go. It changes things. It's fulfilled me so much that I just want so many clients. Now I don't have that many, but I want so many because it's just
Right.
fun. To see them come back with their results, like how I've had results, I've cried many times where I get
I'm
the
sure.
thank yous, and I can't believe that this is what this is like. It's just I love it.
And it affects it just in all avenues of somebody's life, of their being. It's not just necessarily that we're talking about weight loss or
Mm-hmm.
fitness, although those are a part of
Yes.
it, right?
Yep.
But it's about reinventing your nutrition, obviously decreasing sugar to decrease inflammation, to improve your overall health. and then also probably with their career
Yeah.
avenues and things like that. Because I think, and let me know if you agree with this, I think a lot of people become comfortable being comfortable.
Oh, uh-huh.
And the standards aren't real high in today's
Mm-hmm.
world, let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest. It's the average that, everybody, if, that's overweight, goes, well, everybody else
Mm-hmm.
is, so, oh well, I kind of fit in. And it's not being judgmental about looks, it's being taking authority over your
Mm-hmm.
health, accountability for your health. But I think a lot of people stay in that comfortable state because I think that there's a lack of worthiness
Yes,
that so many people feel, whether it's going through a traumatic event like what you did. I mean, that sets the trajectory for your
it does.
life.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a situation where you literally have to have surgery so that you can speak, and then you're in special classes, and obviously you get a label from
Yep.
people that you keep and take with you even after those classes are no longer attended. So I think everybody, I mean, I've gone through times in my life where I just felt so undeserving of
Yep.
things that you almost start to do self-sabotaging
Yep.
things to keep you in your state, right?
Yes.
Do you agree with
Oh,
that?
absolutely. It's yeah. I mean, let's put it this way. Until like, I'll be honest. If I have to be grateful that Melly got sick, even though I loved her and I had to let her go, and everything that I
Right,
went through. But if she didn't get sick, I wouldn't be here today. You
right,
wouldn't be seeing me on Instagram doing what I'm doing. You would
right.
not, I would not, I would still be stuck in that shell, was because I said a turtle shell. I would still be stuck there, living that life because I didn't think I was worthy to be a better person.
Mm. Isn't it amazing? And I always say the universe makes no mistakes.
Yeah,
Right? It's, life is
it
hard.
is.
That's the one thing that people, if they think they're going to go through this life having an easy time, that's where you get set up for disappointments repetitively, because the reality is life is hard.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's about your interpretation of things that happen to you and what you do with it. So you took a very sad situation, but it was part of your
Mm-hmm.
journey so that you could help other people. So that's you went the right way with
Yeah.
it,
Yep.
right? So a lot of people would have just started maybe drinking or eating and
Yep.
doing all that stuff,
Yep.
right? To cope because they don't have coping
Yeah,
skills.
I mean, I'll be honest. I will be honest that when that happened 2 years ago at the beginning, I didn't cope very well,
Yeah,
and we'll also say part of just that little bit of beginning of COVID, I didn't cope very well. Um,
yeah.
and I'm not a drinker, and I never really was, but I did discover tequila.
Uh-oh. Oh
So
gosh, all
so
right.
so I could do tequila here and there to numb it, but I'll be honest with you, um, it made it worse.
Yeah, of course it
And
did.
I
Yeah.
just, but you know what? When I was just so not there that you didn't catch it right away. You didn't catch that and I wouldn't do it during the week. It would just be the weekend that I would have,
Sure.
make my sugar-free margarita in a way.
Right.
And I went to Mexico and I did it too. I mean, the bartenders were funny because I would just ask for tequila in the ice and the lime, and they didn't get confused. And then I would take the stevia and make my own.
There you
But
go.
I didn't realize that I would then wake up even more depressed and more worn down. Um, and I'll be honest with you, since I haven't had a drink in months. I mean, months. And if I have, it was just a celebratory one. I don't find the thing because I know it's going to drag me down. And I'm not saying alcohol's bad. You can have it occasionally and all that
Right.
stuff, but that's how I incorporate too. I'm also a very health person. So if touch on my health journey too is other than just cutting out the sugar, I also went through I was on birth control for 20 years, probably too long, and I
Hmm.
stopped it. And that disrupted my hormones so bad that I didn't sleep for 6 months.
Now, how old were you when you stopped the birth control?
I think I was like 36.
Okay, so obviously you weren't in menopause or even premenopausal at that point.
No, but we knew we weren't going to have kids anymore and stuff like that.
Right. Sure.
But I stopped.
For 6 months, you struggled with sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Not just sleeping. It's called, I had mental fatigue. I could not make it through the day. I had brain fog and couldn't remember shit. I mean, it was bad.
Yes.
It was bad, and this is at the time too that I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm finally exercising. I have cut out the sugar, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I paid and went to a hormone specialist and did deep down testing, and then we ended up finding on a stool test, other than blood work and urine, that I had a
Yep.
soy intolerance. So I had to cut soy out. So here I am, also on another health journey, and I'm telling you guys, when you learn that you have something like this, it changes your world in a little bit too. And it took me, because I was addicted. Okay, let's see. I might have cut out the sugar, but I still was eating a lot of stuff that was processed. And soy
Yeah.
is in almost every single thing. I had to
Uh-huh.
learn to take everything out, and it wasn't the easiest, but I am grateful now because I used to have overactive bladder. I don't now. It's because the soy inflamed my bladder. So now that's cured.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but that started too. It's like I have to read the labels. And this is what told me, eat whole foods. Make your food. If you want chocolate, you can learn to make your chocolate. I've done it all. And most people say I'm a freak because they don't want to do it, and it's fine. That's the thing, is they didn't have this happen to them. They didn't have an allergy or an intolerance come up in their life. But a lot of people don't know that you probably do. I didn't know I had it until I actually had to take it out.
And after you obviously, your bladder wasn't bothering you as much, you didn't have to make as many pee trips, but did you just feel better? Did you feel like your brain
Oh,
fog was
okay.
lifted? Did you
So
start
yeah,
sleeping
I
better?
started. There was still sleeping. I mean, it's still like, now I'm 46. Like, there's still, like, that, but sleeping did get better. The brain fog, definitely. The energy, eliminating the sugar, still keeping that sugar out, taking that soy out. I also went for a year of no dairy too. I now have I do dairy, and that doesn't affect it. But I do notice if I increase certain things, I do notice a difference in my body. So I'm very in tune. So when you start, like, you probably know, when you're very in tune what you eat and something you introduce that's different, your
Yeah,
body feels it. Your body
for
reacts
sure.
and you work out. But I've had a lot of people just keep coming to me for help, and then I'm like, other than just coaching people with their strengths, I can help them seriously with all my health that I know. And that's how I discovered, like, the main thing, and what I've done with all the doctors that I follow, and I follow a lot of holistic doctors and I got their books, and I do this. And even recently, a very famous plastic surgeon that went to a holistic plastic surgeon, even has a book out in his own product line. Even in his
Wow.
book, and this is a dermatologist or a plastic surgeon, every single doctor that I come across, what's the number one thing they tell you to do is cut out sugar.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so adamant, like, okay, you don't have to do it all at once. And if you don't ever want to give it all the way up, fine. But let's just find healthier alternatives. And if you need help, there's a lot of people, and I have friends that don't know how to do that, or they're not like me because they don't have that discipline. And I can help be the accountability partner to help text you every day because, like you just said, life gets in the way. Life
Oh,
changes.
sure.
Life is so hard. You have these
Life.
goals, and you're like, that New Year's resolution, or you have these goals, and this next 30 days, I'm gonna work out every day, or I'm gonna, walk every day. And then you have a really bad day, or your kids are sick, or this and that, and then you beat yourself up. And then one day goes by, and then 2 days go by, then 3 days go by, and then you get yourself off track, but then you beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Sometimes you just need somebody, like maybe me, to help you, or a friend reach out to, and do it together and be accountable.
Right. And I think a lot of people too, like with you sharing your story, again, the universe makes no mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. So you had those issues with your health so that you obviously could learn from them, and you're turning it around and you're helping other people with it. But I honestly think, when I work out, and I know we're going to talk about working out in a minute because I want to ask some questions from you about it. But I think a lot of people who are just living their life in existence, like in
Mm.
autopilot mode, And sometimes you have to do
Yeah.
that. So, hey, there's single parents out
Yeah.
there that, man, most respect for that. If they get through a day, that's an
It
accomplishment.
is.
But I think a lot of people just don't even realize how good they can feel,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, by not working out, not getting enough sleep, taking caffeine to stay awake, taking stuff to go to sleep, eating like shit, eating processed food, eating fast food, not having movement, and just being sluggish and brain fog and all, like, they don't even know that, you can feel better.
Yeah.
And you don't have to radically change your life overnight. You just have to start doing one thing at a time and maybe have an accountability partner.
Yeah.
So I know that you recently published an ebook about eliminating
Yes.
sugar, right? So tell us about the number one, the title of the book, and what inspired you to write the book.
Inspired me was just seriously, it just keep coming across. Like, once again, like I said, the doctors and just everything is the number one. Like, come on, guys, like, just cut the sugar out. It's the number one thing that can help your body, especially women, the hormones, the menopause issues, the weight gain, and the inflammation that it does to your body. It will make you so much better. That just inspired me. But some people just don't know actually don't understand the severity sometimes if they don't know, like I said, there's hormones. Um, it affects your skin. It depletes the collagen. So no matter how much plastic surgery you might want to do or spend thousands of dollars on your products, women, if you're still filling yourself up with sugar, you're depleting all your collagen no matter what.
Now, what's the name of the book?
The ebook,
Yes.
is Breaking Up with Sugar, A Journey to a Healthier Consumption.
Very cool. Okay, so we'll make sure we put the link and all that stuff so people can get their hands on it and read it. Because, yeah, I remember reading like a while ago that sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be that way too, where I would always fall to sugar. I just craved sweets. Like, I really enjoyed cake. I really enjoyed cookies. And I got to a point where I really lacked control in my life, because this was like during COVID. I was a hot dumpster fire mess. I was drinking
I
too
think
much. I was
everyone.
eating like crap. Yeah, it was just such a high anxiety time that I just really at one point could not have that in my house, because if I did, and if I had a stressful moment, I'm going to polish a sleeve of Oreos like
Yeah.
that. So I just chose at that point to just, if you don't have it in your house, you can't eat it. But if you do get to a point where you have control, where you start working out and all this and that, then, yeah, you can have it. And you provide a lot of really fun alternatives. I saw on Instagram one day this week that you were giving a alternative for Reese's cup.
Yeah. Well, the alternative, I know that was, I think you might just saw, I just put the homemade Reese's cup. I didn't put the recipe or anything, but I made my own homemade Reese's cup. But I did give a tip for, like, if you're going to be going out to these today, or, or an Easter function for the holidays, if you are working on resistance and you're doing this journey, try to substitute it with fruit, or put some lemon or lime in your water. Actually, there's a trick to, if you crave in sweets, guys, sour. Sour will take the craving of sweetness away.
Oh.
So even if you want to squeeze a lemon in your mouth, if you're going to be brave, or even salt, believe it or not, like something like, sour and salty. And that doesn't mean Sour Patch Kids, guys.
We're no fun.
I know, no fun. But there is something, and that was from a doctor that discovered, like, yeah, it changes the way that the whole thing with your taste buds and the brain, and it works. And it's, no, I don't have these anymore because it's 9 years now, so I don't have these cravings, and I'm glad that I don't, and I'm glad. But there was a struggle. I wasn't perfect at the beginning, and like I said, I didn't go cold turkey, and I did try it here and there. But then when I did pick it up and tried it, and then the body rebelled. So.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and the other thing too is, when you have treat meals, or, like, today is Easter when we're filming this. So a lot of people are going to be participating in Easter egg hunts and Reese's cups and all that good stuff. And, I did a post today. It said something like, enjoy your food, but not to the point of regret.
Yes.
And the thing that I know is that if you go to that point where you jack your insulin so high and your sugar and all that stuff, that for the next few days, it's like coming off crack. I've never done crack. Don't start rumors about your fitness check. But I'm just saying that it feels like that because it has such a strong hold that for a few days after eating high amounts
Mm-hmm.
of sugar, you're fighting that craving and it is
Uh-huh.
hard.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
it's like, you have to go, is it really worth it?
That's the thing. Here, yeah, just like you said, is it worth it? Let's see, like how you're training, you're doing all this hard work. Would it be worth it for you just to have that treat and then all of a sudden you got to think what it's doing already to your body. You're taking away all that hard work you just did. It's
Yeah,
just like, how hard it's to build muscle. And then when you stop doing it, then you lose it faster than it takes to build it.
right. But I mean, I do say everything in
Yeah, oh,
moderation. So
yeah.
because the minute you say there's a forbidden fruit,
Oh, yeah. Then you're
like,
craving it more.
oh, then they're going to eat the whole freaking bag of Reese's cups. Because I've done it. You know what I mean? Like if you think something like is like so bad. So I always say there's good, better, best. And, we have to be mindful about what we're eating and, look at the reason why we're eating it because I'm a huge stress eater and
Ah,
most of my kids are too. And so you have to go, do I really, really want this? And if you're like, F yeah, I do, then you know what? Do
yeah.
it and
Just
get it
don't
out of your
eat the whole. Let's say eat the piece of the cake. Don't eat the whole cake.
correct. So, there's that fine line because we don't want to start creating, you know,
Unhealthy.
correct unhealthy relationships with food by eliminating. I always say there's everything's allowable. You just obviously have to take accountability to fall in the right order for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like what else you eat and how your activity level is and all that good stuff. So I mean we are meant to enjoy life, enjoy holidays, enjoy making memories and food is always a part of
Oh
it.
yeah.
But we just have to always go, is it really worth it?
Yeah, and it's everyone is unique. Everyone has their own journey, and everyone is different. And so, right, you got to fine. I mean, I even tell that with my clients. I'm like, just enjoy. Just just don't eat that whole cake. Just have the piece of the
Right.
cake, and then tune into make sure you have your regular good food and your protein, your vegetables, and drink a lot of water.
There you go. That's like the best news, best advice you could give
Yeah.
anybody. So I know you do some videos on Instagram of your workouts and share with people to motivate them. So how do you stay fit? Like what is your favorite ways to stay fit? What's your workout programs look like?
Wow, I got introduced years ago. I don't even know how I did it. I'm at home. I'm a person that with my routine and that I just like to work out at home. I think they changed the name, but I still call it Beach Body on Demand. I think it's just like
Oh, sure.
body or something. I'm pretty bad health. Let's say I don't promote it. Obviously, can you tell? But that's just what I do. I actually started off free because I like the things free as much as possible. I was
For
following a
sure.
person on YouTube for a while, but then I got bored of that, and then I signed up for Beachbody and liked it. I go around and I alternate. I do stuff with the hit and the weights, and then I've actually gotten into the Pilates in a bar. And the one girl that does the bar workouts, I have cried. I have cried trying to hold a 2 pound weight with her workout versus lifting 20 pound weight or something. I'm just like, or your legs are shaking so bad and you're like, how the heck is this possible? I've been like doing these weights and I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I used to, when I started it, I kind of overdid it and I was doing it kind of every day, but then it was like an obsession, but then I cut back. I started listening to my body more and just the way that,
So how many days a week are you working out?
so I actually just do the weights and stuff only on the weekends. And then during the week, I make sure that I'm with our dog, with the one dog, try walking her as much as possible. So that's my workout, walking. And I do coaching is part time. So my main income is I clean houses. So it's physical. So I'm
Oh,
cleaning.
fun.
Yes. So I'm moving all day. It's rare that I'm sitting for very long.
Yeah. Man, you're a hardworking
Yeah,
girl.
so it takes a while. So yeah, I mean, there might be 3 days that I might do some extra workout, but it's typically on the weekends I get, as I say, my hard workouts, and during the week is lighter workout. And every night they keep my hip flexors and everything and hamstrings and all that stuff. I do yin yoga. I stretch. And, yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's very awesome. And you know what? I think that's great because at the end of it all, you're moving.
Hmm.
That's the thing I tell people. Like, you don't, like, there's a million methods to the
There
madness.
is.
Like, I'm doing something extreme. I know my clients aren't going to do that.
Right.
They don't want to do that and they don't have to do that. But at the end of the day, you have to move.
Yeah. And I started a thing last year and then I stopped it because not everyone kept wanting to do it with me. But I mean, I will say actually, I ended up stopping myself, but I just was doing a lot. But it was, and I did it for October, November, December. And the first month was 3 minutes a day. 3 minutes was 1 minute of jumping jacks, 1 minute of body squats, and 1 minute of push ups. Then in November, I added a minute of sit ups or like ab workout, like whatever ab workout you wanted. 4 minutes a day, 4 minutes a day. December, I added the last one was like jumping jacks or like jump rope and then jumping jacks. So it was like, so 5 minutes, so 5 minutes a day. But there was somebody, it was like someone that came across that I think it was actually where it started, it was just 3 minutes a day. They said, if you did just 3 minutes a day for the whole year, you will see a difference in your body. And I was just like, just get moving. And some of them were doing it with me. And I was obviously sometimes I would actually double it because then I would maximize it. But I ended up getting, believe it or not, my routine, I ended up stopping that routine because then I just got into just making sure I was walking her and doing all this other stuff. But I probably should just do that for myself again, just the extra 5 minutes a day. But just for people that are sitting all day in their job, 5 minutes, right? It's not hard. 3 minutes, not hard.
Right. And if you can't take that for yourself, look how much time you spend on social media, right? Turn your thing on, report every week you get on your phone, how much time you were on your phone. So I always say we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Granted, I'm at a beautiful place in my life. I don't have kids at home. I am working high hours and all that, but where there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I really love what you just shared because at the end of it, for somebody who's really intimidated and, some people are so all or nothing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So by just saying, hey, you know what, just do like 1 minute and then do that. And then you start gaining some confidence because you're doing that consistency. And then you get inspired to add that next minute or that next movement. And then guess what? And correct me if I'm wrong, but it probably started to affect your nutrition choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit.
It changes it.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, especially the ones that were doing it with me started to notice too. And they actually, one was really good that by the end of I think the first month, her feedback was, I couldn't believe the extra energy I got. And that was 3 minutes a day.
Isn't that great?
And you can modify too. There's a lot of people say if they're older and they can't jump or their knees, there's modifications. You can't do full put. Like she had breast cancer, and so she couldn't do the push-ups because of the issue, right? So she did, the wall modification. There's so many different ways that you can do modifications. Just move.
Right. So let me ask you this, Renee. So let's say, there's probably a lot of people that are loving what you're sharing and going, wow, I would really like to have her as my coach. We're definitely going to have your website and all that good stuff on the notes. But if I decided I wanted to be a client of yours, let's just say hypothetically, what does that look like? Like, how does somebody get that started?
Well, I have 3 simple packages actually, and one is just one if you just want to know who you are by your strengths. You have the strength report in that, and it's just a small package, and we go over the proclamation, your DNA, and we get in detail of who you are. The good one in the middle is the one where we add some of your strengths. We will have strengths will always be implemented in all of them. Is the healthy package. I can't remember these names. Sorry, guys, on the top of my head. This website was just made 2 months ago.
Sure, no
so
problem.
the middle one is if you're wanting to get healthy. If you need help with healthiness, then I am here to help coach you. Let's drill down, because sometimes when you say you want to lose weight, you really don't know why you want to lose weight. And that also can make you hesitate and stop, and then also defeat the program you started. Also, why you keep going backwards is because you're hesitating. It's because you didn't get clear. You didn't drill down to what makes it. And sometimes when you start the drill down, it actually doesn't even go with what your original thought was. There will be something else that will come up, and that will be the trigger to why you want to lose the weight, or why you want to just get healthy, or why you want to be a better person. And so I also, for healthy, I have a private Facebook group that I started. And in there, I will post things help you. I have different files for things like weekly menu ideas, where to go grocery shopping, where things are hidden, like read the labels. Where, I have things in there, especially for soy. Not everyone has it, but like, watch out because, a thing of tuna, I can't even have all the tuna because it's soy's imported to tuna.
Oh my
Yes. So
gosh.
it's just, so I have a lot of my history just put in there with files and stuff. You also, I will help customize in a way, help find easy, fast recipes for you. I'm also accountability partner with you. I also help you keep you on track. So when you work with me, you get like a lot. And then I have the
That,
other bigger package, which is a lot more with health, but also more in depth working with strengths too. A lot of,
okay.
so it's three different packages. But I just want to help people just also, I mean, like I said, find themselves, be happy, but also get healthy. And there's a fun way to doing it. You don't have to beat yourself up, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people just think that when they are trying to get healthy, that it's
Oh,
punishment.
yeah.
That they think about all the things they're going to have to give up and instead of all the things they're going to gain.
And some
So,
just don't know. I have helped my dear friend. He hired me, and as he put it, it's on my testimony on my page. I have a lot of great testimonies. Um, it was a roadmap for him. It was a roadmap that he needed to actually see how to do it. He goes to a gym and has a trainer, and they were telling him to buy this food and do this, that. But the way that his life, like both of them are so busy, they don't take time for themselves. They're one of those, and I got the reports and I know why. All they want to do is help other people because their responsibility is so high. But they're neglecting their health. Even though he still wants to do it, he couldn't do it. The roadmap was sitting down, the drill down. And then we sat there and realized where the open window was every day to make the quick meal that he never thought of until we sat there and did it. And then from there on, he had every week I would check in. Okay, if you're in my local area, I could tell you what's on sale and what you're kind of doing. I'll even tell you, like, hey, that's what's on sale. Just check it out because I want to save money too. That,
yeah,
and
sure.
then give him the easy quick recipes, and then he lost like 10 pounds in the first month just by changing the menu and finding the time to make the quick meals.
That's awesome. I love that. And what's your website?
It's simple. It's just my name. It's reneefry.com.
Okay, and it's
www.
with two
Yeah.
E's,
Y.
RENEEFRY
.com.
dot com. And I'll have it in the show notes, but for people listening, I just want to plant the
Oh,
seed so
yeah,
that they
yeah,
can
yeah. I kept it
check it out if
simple.
they're at the red light.
I kept it simple because I didn't want it's just easier. Talk to me. It's just my name. Just leave it out there. So it's just, yeah, everything I have is Renee Fry.
Okay, perfect. And, I think that we get influenced and inspired by people as we go through our times in our life. Obviously, besides dealing with the obstacles that we're dealt, that inspires us a lot of times to become better. But a lot of times it's an individual or if it's people. Would you say that you have had one specific person that's really served as a really high influence in your life? And if you have, who is it?
Um, I mean, for me, it's my mentor, Eddie. I mean, he was already doing something before I even did the course, that I just knew that there's something wonderful about him. Like he just wants to help people, and he wants to, show everyone like how unique you are, and he's brought so much value to me that I will be always grateful. And I, yeah, I look up to him all the time. But he's also so great because he's there for me if I need him at any second. And I don't know how many people go through a certification program that actually gets to stick with their mentor coach still and has their support, and also has a community that he built, a community that everyone is in there and very supportive. It's the, I it's the best thing that I've ever been a part of. I have so many new close friends that I will probably have for life.
Wow, that's awesome. So, I think that we have things every day too that absolutely under no circumstances am I swaying on these. I call them the non negotiables. So, what are the three non negotiables? Not necessarily applicable to a day, but just in your life. What are three things that you absolutely must do that are non negotiable?
That I must do. I have to do my green smoothie every day.
I love that. What do you put in it?
Well, I'll tell you, the reason I did the green smoothie now is I actually do called the seed cycling for the hormones. So I have to put in the seeds, which is the first part is pumpkin and flaxseed, and the second half is sesame and sunflower seeds. And that's truly helped me with the premenopausal issues. But it can be some part of lemon, celery, like a green apple or something. I don't do too much fruit in there, or berries, blueberries, something like that. And then mixed greens, and not too much in that. I might say it wrong. Creatine. So, okay. So I learned that from a podcast. Listen, I follow a doctor that was interviewed, and they're like, we really need this for women. So I start putting that in there. I don't do too much protein powder anymore because I do a lot of other foods to get the protein in me.
Great.
But that's pretty much my green smoothie. So it's not very, as I tell a lot of people, it's not very tasty unless you get used to it. So my taste buds have just gotten used to it. So I suck it down.
Sure.
You could add stuff to it.
Of course, there's so many cool things out there you can add to it, but at least it's a nutrient dense. That's like what we look for. So your green smoothie is non-negotiable. What are two other things?
Green smoothie is non-negotiable. The other thing is, it's just my routine. I have to get up in the morning. I have to have the time for myself to do the gratitude journaling and have my tea. It used to be coffee, but now it's tea. That's non-negotiable. Traveling is very hard for me because I have to try to even squeeze that in. So that's the thing. It's like, as long as my morning routine is very negotiable. And to be honest, my yin yoga at night is almost non-negotiable in a way. Like tonight for Easter, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And that actually kind of messes up me if I don't do it.
Yeah. Now, why can't you do it tonight? Because
I'm going to get home later, and it's just usually after dinner. Granted, maybe I could just do it on the in-laws' living room floor, but I probably won't.
Well, I know. I'm the same way. I'm very routine. I almost feel like Rain Man sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, I got my food out of order, or oh my gosh, I didn't get my sleep, or oh my gosh, I didn't get to the gym today. Oh my gosh, somebody was hogging the machine, so I didn't get the shrugs in today. Or oh my gosh, I'm just so routine. And to be honest, I used to kind of think people were really lame and boring that were like that. I flipping love it.
You're probably going to be like me, one of the unique, because actually by Gallup, only 7% people have discipline in their top 10. I guarantee if you had your report, then you're sounding just like me. You probably have discipline.
Oh, and discipline's my middle name.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that egotistically. I just know that I just say, this is what I do now. It is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Like when my alarm goes off and I want to sleep in, trust me, there's many days that I don't be like, oh, yay.
Oh, look, at least you get to still hit an alarm. My body still just wakes me up probably before 6 o'clock. It's just, but I go to bed early. Like I start about 8:30. Like my brain goes, okay, it's time to start winding down.
Yeah. I go to bed pretty early too. Oh, I get up at 3 almost every day.
Okay, now that is early.
Yeah. No, I'm grinding.
You are.
And it's just the fact that, when that alarm goes off, I really do sometimes, as much as I love working out and get excited about going to the gym, there's days I'm like, okay, but if I don't go, I don't have to wash my hair because I won't get sweaty. And then if I get more sleep, I'll be in a better mood today. And then, my cortisol and my human growth hormone. And then I'm like, shut up, girl, get your ass out of bed. Let's do this. Let's go. And so, we do try to talk ourselves out of it for sure. But So I love those non-negotiables. I think some people can definitely identify with it, but routine is just something I think to be said. And it's a very good habit to fall in as long as it's a healthy routine as far as what you do in the morning, what you do at night, what you eat during the
Yep.
day, and those kinds of things will set you up for success for whatever goal
Yeah.
you're trying to
Pretty
accomplish.
much. Yeah, definitely.
So as we're wrapping up, Renee, so what's the biggest takeaway that you hope the listeners learn from what you've shared today?
Biggest takeaway is ladies or gentlemen or whoever's listening, like literally just quit hiding being who you are. And if you really want to know who you are, you just go to gallup.com and get your strength assessment. And then you just go to my website, reneefry.com.
It's Gallup. I'm sorry to
Oh,
interrupt you. I didn't hear it correctly, so
Gap,
may not either.
Gap. Yes,
Gallup,
Gallup.
Gallup, Gallup.com.
Yep, GALLUP.com. And you want to get the
Okay.
full assessment. So it's $59.99. Unfortunately, we do have to pay for it.
Okay.
But it's, to me, it's priceless. It's most valuable. And I give everyone a free discovery session on your strength report. I will tell you your dominant domain of who you are. And then you can see if you want to learn more about it. And then you just can book, a package or something with me. But just finding who you are, and then also if on a health journey along with it, don't make it so hard and don't beat yourself up on it. If you seriously don't have a friend that can help you along the way, or let's just say you want to do it with a friend but they're in the same boat as you, that might not be the best support, because then they are just going to, let's just say, bitch and complain the same as you and not encourage
Correct.
you. And
Right.
maybe something like somebody like me can help encourage you to stay on track on your goal that you want to do, because it's so hard to get support sometimes.
It is. And and if you're relying on somebody that's in worse condition than than you, it might not be a good idea. As much as you love that person, it's like people taking relationship advice from somebody who isn't in a relationship, a successful one
Right.
anyway.
It's like, okay, we're both
So,
okay. Let's both, we both got to lose, like, we'll make it simple. We both got to lose 12 pounds. We both eat like crap. We both have a crappy job. We're both unhappy or something. And each day, like, okay, did you get the workout? No. Like, did you get, well, no, another day. And then you guys are just texting and you're just bitching, but nobody's getting anything done.
right. I like that. They're like, forget it. Let's go have
Yes.
wine.
And they're like, what the heck are we even doing? Like, this doesn't work. And then they're back on the hamster wheel and you're not getting anything done.
I love that. So having you as an accountability coach, if anything else, that
Yes.
would be
I
amazing.
mean, yeah, and I have just a package for that. Like, I mean, you sign up for a consult. I mean, you pay for just the package of the first initial session, and then there's a monthly fee. And it's like I said, sometimes if you don't want all the stuff that I'm offering, but you still need that nudge to get you to do what you need to do, then so be it. I'll be that person, because I have the discipline to put you in my schedule.
That's right. You'll be checking out.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, Renee? What is next on the horizon
What's
for you?
next on the horizon is going to try to do some workshops, as I'm thinking. I'm going to try to
Now, are
implement.
they going to be in person or virtual or
It
both?
will not in person. I'll do like a virtual, like a Zoom.
Webinars.
Things are spinning in my head. Something to do, obviously, maybe strengths and sugar. I don't know. Things are playing around. Want to possibly do more podcasts. I am doing a summit next month.
Ooh, that's
Yes, I'll
exciting.
be partnering with my mentor Eddie, and
Oh, nice.
just keep coming up with things of packages or something to help anybody and make it simple.
Well, I love that. I love that. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to help inspire our listeners. Everybody make sure you check out reneefry.com. It's amazing what you can do once you understand how you're wired, and Renee can help you do that, find out what's working for you, what's not working for you. And sometimes it's as simple as that, so that you can create a plan to propel yourself towards your goal. So thank you so much, Renee. I really appreciate
Oh,
you.
thank you so much for having me. This was amazing. I love it.
Thank you. I know you have a really great year ahead. I have a good feeling. I really
Thank
do.
you.
So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in for this episode of the Your Fitness Chick podcast. As always, I'm here to inspire, uplift, educate, and motivate you to become your best self. Hey, it's Abby, your fitness chick. Thanks for checking out today's episode. With your continued support, I can keep creating inspiring episodes just like this one. So be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. To stay motivated all week long, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. The links for those can be found in the show notes. Check out my website by visiting www.yourfitnesschick.com. And I'd like to thank my production company, Coraggio Media, but most of all you, my listeners, for helping to inspire me each and every day. I'll see you on the next episode.